What's up, Archons? I'm Flightless Pheasant, and we've got some news that's come out over the last week or so. I've been very busy, so I haven't been able to cover everything individually. So I'm going to kind of cover it all together, and we're going to go through it together. These are mostly KFC-related announcements. That's KeyForge Celebrations. So I want to go through it all so that you guys know what's coming and have some time to react, respond, and make decisions, because that's what news is about. So the first is an article that was put up on the Keyforging website called Get Clone Decks at KeyForge Celebrations. This is a really cool announcement. I read it before, but we're going to read it together and we're going to go through it. So almost a year ago, Ghost Galaxy introduced the deck clone system to KeyForge. This awesome technology has allowed production of decks that replace ones that get damaged, to change the language of a deck when translation is available, and even to show off a deck's achievements through the deck accolade system. These systems have been very popular and used by many in the community already. Yeah, deck clones are great. Accolades are awesome. It's a great system. Ghost Galaxy has contemplated how to make the most of this technology to enhance the experience of KeyForge Celebration for all attendees. With that in mind, we are excited to announce that we will be offering a will call deck clone pickup service for players at KeyForge Celebration 2025. So the TLDR version is that you'll be able to order deck clones and pick them up at KFC. So if you're going to KFC, you can pick up a deck clone in person, which I assume means there won't be any shipping costs, which is really cool, especially for the international players who maybe have to ship their decks quite a lot further for the clones. Please be aware, the service will only be available for orders until October 27th, so you've got a couple of weeks still. There will be no exceptions for late orders, which makes total sense because they still have to have time to print them and prep them and get them all together. So Let's take a look in more detail at what this all means. So if you want to order a will call deck clone, click any of the images presented in this guide to enlarge. They'll open in a new page for easy viewing. To order a deck clone, you go to your Master Vault account and navigate to the desired deck. Below the deck title, you'll see the Order Deck Clone section. This section will only appear if you have Master Vault deck ownership of that deck. Do keep track of that. That's a separate thing we can talk more about if you need to. Select the language desired for the deck, press the Add to Cart button. Adding the deck to the shopping cart will direct you to the Forgefire website, which is their print-on-demand partner that they work with. Navigate back to the Master Vault to add an additional deck to your order, or continue the order on Forgefire website by selecting Go to Checkout. Selecting the Checkout option will navigate you to the checkout page on the Forgefire website. On that checkout page, verify that your email address is correct, or enter it in the appropriate field. This email is the one that will receive confirmation of the order, which will be necessary for pickup. They're probably going to send you a QR code, because Ghost Galaxy does QR codes for most things. So imagine they're going to email you a QR code, and you're going to have that QR code if you want to pick up the deck. Next, set the pickup option under delivery. Forgefire may automatically detect your location and tell you there are no stores available. If so, select change location next to pickup locations. Yeah, so sometimes there'll be pickup locations where you can get them. Sometimes you just have them sent directly to you. Change the country region to the United States. Type Game Center into the address box and either select Find Store or select Game Center from the selection box. So you have to actually tell it you're going to go to Game Center, which is the store that they use for KFC. If this was done correctly, you'll see KeyForge Celebration as the pickup location, and shipping should change to free. Proceed with your order and payment. Once the order is complete, you'll receive an automated confirmation email. The confirmation email will get sent right away. And then you can pick it up at KeyForge Celebration. Claim your deck clones at KeyForge Celebration. You'll need to visit Tournament HQ in the Games Inner Serious room, which is where they usually set us up for KFC. Pickup will be between the hours of 12 p.m. and 6 p.m. Thursday through Saturday, and no later than 3 p.m. on Sunday. Note, Ghost Galaxy will be strict on these times, so they do not interfere with tournament registration. Plan accordingly. Yeah, they got to get the event registrations done, and Tournament HQ is very busy while there's events to register, so these time windows are chosen so that there will not be event registrations at the same time. Present your Forgefire Connect confirmation email and order number to the Tournament HQ staff. They'll find and hand over your order. I imagine they're going to have them behind the counter because I don't think there's going to be so many that they can't do that. But even if they can't, Forgefire's right across the street, so they'll just go grab it and bring it to you. You can also get your tickets for KFC. So this is a big deal because shipping, especially for international KeyForge players, can be really expensive. And the decks are already $24.99 USD. So This is great. This is a great thing. I'm glad they're doing it. If you are international and you have a deck you want to get cloned, this is an incredible way to get a much needed discount on your shipping for the deck clones. So that's really good news. There's another piece of really good news. Oh, I went to the wrong page. And this one has to do with the last chance qualifier at KFC. So I announced on KFC when they put out the original tournament schedule, and I did not talk about this because I didn't notice it. It was not a thing that I noticed. But originally, the last chance qualifier was going to be Crucible Clash, and this announcement's talking about that. So KeyForge's premier event season, including Vault Tour 2025 and the remaining national championships, is quickly coming to a close. On the horizon and quickly approaching is KeyForge Celebration, our capstone event of the year to celebrate this amazing game. It's a really fun event. Definitely recommend it. Since 2023, KeyForge Celebration has traditionally started with a last chance qualifier, or LCQ. It's an event to give players an opportunity to earn any remaining spots in the prestigious invite-only World Championships. LCQ events have always featured the sealed format with a single set designated by Ghost Galaxy. All good, yes. The original release of the 2024 event stated that KeyForge Crucible Clash would be the KeyForge Celebration 2025's LCQ set. Didn't think that was a great idea, and a lot of people agreed. Upon internal reflection, feedback from the community, and input from various sources, we've had a change of heart. Today, we want to announce the following. KeyForge Celebration 2025's last chance qualifier set will now be KeyForge Prophetic Visions. Excellent. Good choice. No complaints. That's the better thing to do. Absolutely, is to do it as Prophetic Visions. We feel that this set better exemplifies the type of play we want for this event and fits perfectly as the set for players to use to qualify for the World Championships because it was used throughout a large portion of the Vault Tour 2025 and National Championship seasons. Absolutely yes. Could not agree more. I definitely think this is the right way to go, is to use Prophetic Visions instead of Crucible Clash for the last chance qualifier. I would still love to see a Crucible Clash event added somewhere in the schedule. I think that would be really great, because Crucible Clash is an awesome idea for a side event for other players to engage in. But if we're talking about World Championship qualifications, and we're talking about big tournaments with deck prizes on the line and deck accolades on the line and things like that, it's just not balanced well enough for that, in my opinion. It really just is not well balanced enough for that. There's a lot more to do with, than just the LCQ. A variety of casual and open tournaments. We're going to go over to their KFC information page next, and we're going to take a look at that. But yeah, so, because they added a bunch of community events, and I kind of want to go through some of these. But TLDR, the last chance qualifier will now be Prophetic Visions, which I think is a great choice, not Crucible Clash, which is very good. Alright, so most of this is going to be familiar, but we're going to kind of breeze through it. The schedule hasn't really changed as far as the stuff that Ghost Galaxy is running, though I now think the Measure for Measure Sealed is almost definitely going to be Draconian Measures, and that they're going to have it ready to play, which is not as surprising as I originally thought, because they almost always premiere the new set at KFC. It just seemed like we just finished up the Gamefound, and so it's a little surprising that they got it out that fast. But, hey, if it's ready, it's ready. Saturday and Sunday schedule should look the same. But the part that's new and that we're going to spend a little bit of time on is the community stuff. So the first thing on this community list is the community card hunt. This is being run by Bad Penny Press, and they've teamed up with a bunch of community members, myself included, to create collectible casual cards. So this is a really cool event. I can't tell you too much about it because we're still kind of keeping it hush-hush, but I have a card. It's very cool. I like it a lot. Fits well with my vibe. If you know me really well, you'll read the card and you'll get it right away. Well, you don't have to know me that well, actually. You just have to watch any reasonable portion of my content and you'll have an understanding. But they're going to be doing a community card hunt. They've actually teamed up with ForgeFire to get the cards printed by Ghost Galaxy. Like, Ghost Galaxy's printing the cards for them, and they're putting them in packs. They're going to have packs for you to collect. This is really cool. I am immensely impressed with the amount of effort that they're going to for this. So this is an event that I highly, highly recommend participation in. Next, we have the Warcast Reforged. They're doing a book exchange. Attendees are invited to share the gifts of literature by taking and leaving interesting works of fiction. Bring a book, get a book, leave a book. Sounds really cool. I like the idea. I might have a bonus copy of one of the KeyForge roleplay books, which if I do, I might bring that. But I have to go through my stuff and double check. But yeah, that's going to be really fun. Kagi is doing another live event like they did last year. So this is adaptive chain bidding format. It's a really interesting sort of best of 3 chain bidding deck swapping format. Kagi is very interesting. I've never personally gotten into adaptive very much, but I know some people really love it, and they ran this last year, and it was a huge hit. People had a ton of fun, so that's going to be really cool, and you should definitely look into that. Memorialize the Fallen. So this is a special event that's being run by DePapa. Memorialize the Fallen will commemorate the house or houses that were purged from the Crucible during the Certain Darkness event. So on the first day of KeyForge Celebration, I'm pretty sure at least, because they're going to do it during the keynote presentation, I think, they're going to tell us who did not survive Certain Darkness. Somebody will have gotten nommed and be gone from the Crucible for keeps. And this is an opportunity for all of us to mourn our fallen house and sort of collectively recover from our great loss. And then the last one, Visions of Fate. So this one I don't know all that much about, and I've kind of read through it, and I'm still not sure I fully understand it. But you're going to receive a custom prophecy, you're going to play games, and then after you fulfill your prophecy, whatever it is, it'll tell you to play a certain type of game with a certain type of opponent or something like that. You'll go back to them, and then you'll get a special card from them for accomplishing that. That has a I'm not exactly sure how it works, but it sounds really interesting, and I'm excited to try it out. I'm definitely going to play and see what I think. So the community is got some really cool stuff going on. I only knew about like 1 or 2 of these before the community announcement, so I thought I'd highlight them so that you guys could get a little more eyeballs on them and we could get a little more hype going. But yeah, there's been a lot of news that's all built up, most of it KFC related. I've been really busy lately, so I haven't been able to do individual responses to individual things, but I thought I'd put it all together so that we could all look at it together and see what we think. KFC's coming really quick. Certain Darkness is still going to be going for most of the rest of this month. I did do my Certain Darkness event. I want to do a recap video on that, but I don't have time just now, so I will do that hopefully later this week. I also really want to do a lore picks for Crucible Clash, and before Draconian Measures actually comes out, I'd like to do my favorites things from the spoilers for Draconian Measures, and we'll go through that at some point in the future. But yeah, that's all I have for you today. So until next time, later, Archons.